The Lee & Perrins factory in Worcester, England. They've been making Worcestershire sauce here since 1897, when their first shop became too small to meet demand. The staple ingredients of the iconic sauce are garlic, onions, anchovies and tamarind paste.
Worcester sauce was invented in 1835 when a posh army officer went to Bengal to help run the British Empire. He fell in love not with a woman but with a fish sauce. He comes back and asks two local chemists, John Wheely Lee and William Henry Perrins, to try and recreate it. And what they came up with tasted revolting. At least it did until it sat fermenting for a couple of years in a cellar.
In the Worcester factory today, that magic works exactly the same way. It may sound revolting, but fish, spice and veg maturing in vinegar forms a delicious sauce. Though pickling raw ingredients kicks up a seriously strong smell. First, 130 barrels of Spanish anchovies are matured for up to 3 years. Fresh fish goes bad very quickly, so the layers of anchovies are cured with salt. The salt sucks the water from the fish. The unwanted bacteria can't survive in these conditions, so the fish is preserved. But that doesn't quite mask the stench.
You tend to get used to the smells, but every now and then, no matter how long you've been here, you still get the effects.
In the next room, whole onions and garlic bulbs are maturing in malt vinegar. The acidity of the vinegar inhibits the growth of bacteria and softens the texture of the onions, allowing them to imbibe more flavour. Chris Benyon is one of Lee & Perrins' experts.
We have 100 kilos of onions or garlic fed through the hopper, and then we add 100 litres of malt vinegar as well.
That's an eye-watering amount of vinegar-soaked onions, 1,500 barrels to be precise. They're left to mature in a vault under the factory for a year. The trick is knowing when they're mature enough. Chris has the Midas touch, squeezing the onions to check when they're pickled perfectly to flavour the final sauce. When the sauce was first sold commercially, small batches were made by hand. Things have moved on a bit since then. These blending tanks each hold up to 30,000 litres. They work just like your kitchen mixer, only 6,000 times bigger. They mix the aged onions and garlic with even more malt vinegar and spirit vinegar, then add tamarind paste all the way from India. Made from the sticky fruit of the tamarind tree, it's what gives the sauce its tangy kick. Next, the anchovies, preserved in salt for 3 years, followed by more salt, sugar and molasses. Worcestershire sauce includes a secret blend of spices. The exact recipe is now kept under lock and key. Bill Wood is one of only 6 people allowed to add the secret blend. To perfect its flavour, the mix now spends several months in a series of maturation tanks.
In 1839, a New York businessman brought the first bottles of Worcestershire sauce to the United States, and people could not get enough of it. And that's still true today. The United States consumes more Worcestershire sauce than every other country combined.
The bottling line can fill 450,000 bottles every day. Whether it's the 150ml, 290ml or 568ml bottle, it must be filled to the right level. So the nozzle has a sensor which prevents overfilling, a bit like the pump that fills your car with petrol. A second machine closes each bottle with a flip-top cap. Then a third slaps on the iconic orange label. Finally, the bottles are shrink-wrapped, ready to be shipped to 130 countries around the world. They produce 26 million bottles a year here, and 27 million more bottles a year at their factory in New Jersey just for the US.